Christopher De Santiago with Sports Illustrated's MMA Knockout, here today with UFC veteran and a CES lightweight champion of the world, Charles Rosa. Charles, how's it going today?
Man, great. Just got back from a good run. Went to the beach. Getting these last, fighter preparations out. Ready to shine November 15th in Mississippi.
Most definitely, man. And before we talk about your bare knuckle debut, I just want to touch up on what you've been doing since your last fight. What have you been up to?
Man, everything's been great, man. I've been super healthy. I defended my lightweight championship of the world in Foxwoods, my hometown, and man, it was really special. I went out and I made a champion baby that night. So I got a baby on the way. I just got engaged with my girl, and life is good. So now I have bills to pay, baby on the way. It's time to get this money in this fight.
That's awesome, man. And how cool was it to fight alongside your brother Lucas on the card?
Oh man, that was epic. Yeah, it was a dream, come true. Something that I've always wanted. After losing my two older brothers to drug overdoses, to have my little brother to be, in my corner for my fights prior, and then to be able to fight and share a fight card with them was something that was always, on my bucket list and one of my dreams. And it came true. And I also, defended my world championship belt, everything couldn't have went better.
Hmm. Next fight, bare knuckle MMA, Gamebred Bareknuckle MMA, November 15th. How did this opportunity present itself to you?
Man, I'm on a 4-fight win streak with all first round finishes. Man, I've been crushing it since exiting the UFC. One of the main reasons I left the UFC, I still had 2 fights in my contract, but they were only fighting me one time a year, and like it just wasn't enough for me. And you've seen, if you look at my Tapology and my Sherdog, I've fought in almost I fought 4 times in the last year, and then I have another one on the way in November. So it's almost 5 fights in a year, and that's what I want to do. I want to be active. I want to stay active, and that's the type of fighter I am. So I don't like sitting on the shelf. Nothing bad to say at the UFC, but it was just the time was come. They had their way of doing business. I had mine, and now I got to go win a world championship, defend the world championship, and then I get a call from Dean Toole from Gamebred, George Masvidal. And they said, man, Charles, you're an exciting fighter. You get all these fight of the night bonuses in the UFC. You're what we're looking for. We're trying to build the biggest promotion in the world. And we want you part of it. And, we want you to be our champion. So you win this fight, and, maybe a title shot's on the way, and fight whoever they throw at me. So, when this opportunity came up to fight Pete Barrett, he's the #1 guy out of New England, obviously aside from me. He says he wants a shot at the belt. He wants a shot at the crown. So he's going to get his chance to do it on November 15th.
Hmm. It's CES versus Cage Titans champions. What was your initial reaction to getting somebody like Peter, a former UFC fighter himself, as an opponent?
Man, it's what I want. I want to show him the best. I've already fought in all of New England's finest. I fought, Kyle Bochniak. He was a warrior in the UFC. He had that crazy fight against the Russian dude. You know what I'm saying? In the UFC, he was like fight of the year contender. Sean Soriano, another top guy from Rhode Island, one of the top guys. Manny Bermudez. I was able to take out all the best of the best for Boston had to offer. And now, I'm the last man standing. And, one guy that's in the way that is right there up there with me is Pete Barrett. So, we get to find out who the true champ is and who's the best. So I'm excited. I said to Dean Toole, I was like, man, if you don't want to make this one for a world title, let's make it for the BMF baddest motherfucker from Boston belt. So he liked the idea, but we'll see what happens when we get there.
Was there any hesitation in taking off the gloves for this one?
No, man. Like I think, I'm a combat sports athlete. I love fighting. I've done kickboxing tournaments, grappling tournaments. I fight anytime I could do. Any fight opportunities that come up my way. I love combat sports. It's not just MMA. So anytime there's an opportunity to do that, of course, like right away, I was like, oh, it's bare knuckle. I'm thinking, oh, what about my hands? What about this and that? But at the end of the day, man, like I go to war every single fight. I'm going there to kill a guy. So like it just makes it a little bit easier to do that.
Do you expect to see yourself back in there? What's the situation looking like?
Yeah, for sure. We kind of had that talk. They were thinking that, there's a couple opportunities. They said they want me to be their champion, want me to be their guy, but we need to, but I told them, I said, listen, there's a lot of opportunities and I'm a prize fighter right now. I want to build with you guys, but unless you're able to, pay me X amount of dollars, I can't sign my multi-fight contract. I want to do it one, because it's going to put me on a 5-fight win streak. I'm in a great spot. I have, other opportunities from other promotions and new things coming on. But I have a real good feeling that I like the feel of this game bred and this type of fighting. I think it fits my style great, and I think I can be a superstar and a champion of this. And they're still building. It's a newer promotion, but I really see that their potential is endless. They could be as big as any show you've ever seen. I think Dean Toole's a genius. He's a great matchmaker, and he has the funds in the background and the people to do it. And, they have the blueprint and they're following the blueprint. And I really think that they're capable of greatness. So I would love to be on their roster and help them achieve that.
Mhm. You and Peter both have very exciting fighting styles. I guess it's hard to predict how a fight goes, in those 3 rounds, but how do you see the fight playing out, and what do you need to do to get your hand raised?
Man, the same way all my fights play out, man. I mean, I'm going out to finish him the second the fight starts to the second it ends. And it's on him. If he's tough enough to survive the barrage, survive the attacks, survive everything that I throw at him, then we'll see. I know he's a tough kid to see if he can survive it, but I doubt it, man. I mean, you see what happened to the last four guys they put me in there with. I've taken out all the best. And, I just think that there's levels to this. He did fight in the UFC, fought at the top level. But he didn't fight at the level I was fighting at. He wasn't fighting top 10 guys in the UFC like I was. And man, I mean, I'm going to be there to the end. So we'll see what he can handle. And it's definitely going to be an exciting fight. He is a tough, durable kid. Got a little bit of respect for him. He definitely been around the game and he's putting in the work. But he's running into his toughest opponent yet. So.
What does a win do for you next week? I mean, given the name that he has behind him, given the win streak that you're on, do you expect to see more bigger UFC names drawn your way after this fight?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, I'm willing to take on anybody. That's been the story of my whole career. I've fought in the best of the best here. Rodriguez, Bryce Mitchell, Dennis Seaver. From when I first UFC fight, I fought a top number 8 guy in the world, my first UFC fight. And, I mean, I fought the best of the best. So I know I'm capable. I don't feel like I've ever been beaten in any of these fights. I know it goes the distance, it goes up to the judges, but at the end of the day, like none of these guys are putting me away or submitting me. So, this is my type of fight. It's a high pace, high volume fight, action to the end, and this is I think perfect for me because it'll let it get a little bit more damage when you get the shots in, and the submissions will be a little tighter, and the takedowns a little bit easier without the gloves. So there's a lot of factors to factor into it, but man, I'm just excited to get back in there doing what I love. Like, I mean, whoever calls, I mean, after this, when I win, I mean, I'm gonna be one of the on the biggest fight win streak in a long time, and a 5-fight win streak, and against top guys, I think that they'll be getting some big calls, or be able to get that title shot for Gamebred.
You're from Boston, you moved down to Florida. Is this your first time fighting in Mississippi?
Yeah, first time fighting in Biloxi, well, in Mississippi, and yeah, man, I'm excited. I love traveling. That's a big part of what I've done. I've been able to fight all over the world, from Tokyo to Mexico City, Stockholm, Sweden, to like Las Vegas, all over the states, and my hometown in Boston, where I have the most all-time wins at the Boston Garden, and this is what I love, man. I love traveling, I love fighting, and I love those are my two favorite things: traveling, fighting, and making money. So that's what I get to do.
What do you plan to celebrate with your new fiance?
Oh man, I can't wait. I'm gonna, go obviously to Biloxi, Mississippi. I'm fighting Pete Barrett in Biloxi, Mississippi. I'm gonna barbecue that son of a bitch. I'm gonna go there and show him what's up. I'm really excited to go there. But when I get back and I get to go back to back home, be able to have some downtime. We got Thanksgiving, Christmas, good holidays coming up. So I look forward to celebrating them because over the past years of my UFC career, you have to be ready on a minute's notice. Like, you're a minute man. Like, you always got to be ready for that call. But I think after this, I'll be able to enjoy the 2 holidays and then get right back to work. And I'm excited.
Awesome. Well, Charles, I think that's all the questions that I have for you today. I just want to thank you again for the time. I hope you're in good spirits, man. Should be a fun week
man.
next week.
Man, I'm great, man. Thank you so much for everything, man. I'm excited to go in there and shine. Definitely tune in November 15th. Watch me barbecue Pete Barrett in Biloxi, Mississippi, man. Thanks, brother.